Hello, welcome to Dimensional Soup. Tonight we're going to be talking about the flat earth. Today it's only me and Tyler.
That's me.
That's him. So this is a strange thing that happened to me today. On my way home from work, I was driving and I saw, like, you know how a star looks? You know, it's kind of twinkly and it's white.
Yeah, twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle. And so there was something up in the sky near Orion's belt that looked probably, I would say, like 4 to 5 times bigger than your average star.
Not quite the moon size?
Not moon size, not even close. But I saw this and it was like really bright. It was really strange. So I watched it, I got off on the exit, and right as I was about to stop, I saw it just zip away. And there was a tail to it. It was weird because it was just sitting there and it was just hanging around. Like, it wasn't like a shooting star or something because I saw it stationary, just sitting there. It was really strange. So,
did the tail stick in the sky?
No,
or?
It just followed and it left.
Okay.
It was just gone. Gone in an instant. It was really a kind of a cool experience.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like they know.
Yeah, they know the soup was going to happen.
Yep, so they had to give us a soupy soup.
That was kind of the first paranormal thing I ever had happen. It was high school. I was south side of town. Left a friend's place. I'm driving home. I look up in the sky, and I just see this giant, bright thing. I'm like, what is that? Because we have helicopters fly over here all the time because we have a big trauma center that's around our area that supports a lot of like rural areas. So helicopters are constantly flying. I used to work at the hospital. I know what a helicopter looks like.
Right. We're
fancy now. We have 3 flights coming out of our city.
That's true. Big flights.
But you can easily tell what's what. At that time, we had no flights coming out of our city. But what would happen is I was just staring up at this bright light, and I'm like, what is that thing? I'm sitting there in my car. I pull my car over to look at it because it just sparked my curiosity. Next thing I know, the thing goes straight up into the sky, comes all the way back down.
How far off the ground was it? Could you tell?
It was way up in the sky. Like,
right.
It's hard to tell when it's dark.
Right.
But it was crazy. It goes up, goes down, shoots off. And you just stand there and you feel lost. You're just like, what the heck did I just see? But,
That's more intense than what I saw. Mine just flew right off.
Yeah, that's pretty. Mine was weird. It just like went up and then down
and then left. And then left. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've had a couple sightings around here in Columbia lately. Actually, we had one in Jeff City that was above the Capitol, but apparently it was a construction worker's drone. They were surveying some land at night, and like everybody was calling like the police, going, "Oh, there's something above the Capitol."
Why would you do that at night?
I don't know.
Night vision? Or?
I don't know. Honestly, I think they came out and said, "Oh, hey, we're just trying to freak people out."
I bet we see a rise in UFO call-ins with drones coming about and stuff.
Oh, probably.
Did you see that video this week? It was a police or military drone with a big old net on it catching other drones. It was just like a South Park episode.
That's, I think, there's a country that's doing that.
Yeah, it wasn't the U.S., but they have a drone problem where drones are just flying around like crazy. And then the police came up with this way to, like, hit it with, like, a piece of fabric or net or something. And it just kind of stops the blades from spinning.
And knocks them down out of the sky.
Sticks them there, you know. I even saw a drone at work last week. The dude was flying around Echo.
Oh, yeah?
And
that's a building that we work in.
One of our bigger buildings. It was an old gym, and flew it. Everyone in the office was staying watching it, and he totally screwed up in front of like 50 people. Flew it straight into a wall. The blades are going da 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 da, but it's pretty cool.
Onto flat Earth. It's gaining a lot of popularity. I don't believe it in the slightest, but it's so out there. I mean, there's a lot of people that have this hardcore belief that this has to be true. Like, there is no other way that our sun and our moon and the way that, you know, our perspective is on this earth could go any other way than being a flat Earth, and that it's crazy. So, first off, how do you feel about gravity? Do you think, like, are you really close to it?
I love gravity. No, I don't like gravity because then I'd be able to fly. But gravity's also holding me down to Earth, so
It's true. But
I'm
then
not
if
going out
you
into the-
flew, you'd never stop, right?
True.
Without the absence of gravity. So, but okay, so a lot of these now. I don't want to pigeonhole because there's so many beliefs with this. These are just some of the more popular ones that I was able to research. Gravity is a myth.
Well, yeah.
It's a complete myth. Isaac
Can't see
Newton.
it, can't touch it.
That's right. It doesn't exist. Apparently, electromagnetic forces caused by who knows what. God. Just
Is it a flat god?
it is.
Okay.
It's a
just
2D
checking.
god. It's like
2D
Mario.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario. Paper God. But so that's a myth. That is, I don't know. I don't understand because they say these things, but they have no like actual backing. They just say that there's this scientific proof, but they're never able to like cite the scientific proof. And if they ever do cite a book, it's usually, written in the 1800s or the 1400s or, whenever.
Was it Isaac Newton's apple? Was it Newton the one that came up with
Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
With the
Apple.
law of gravity.
Yeah, the law of gravity.
Yeah.
Apple fell on his head and he was like, gravity.
Oh, gravity. Yeah. The moon. Do you like the moon?
Love the moon.
Yeah.
I have a telescope. Moon's
Mm-hmm.
my favorite thing to look at.
Yeah. Is the moon 3D?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Because I could see a full moon's not that fun to look at.
Right.
It's really bright. I like the crescent moons because
Right.
you can really see the sun's shadows it puts on the craters and whatnot.
Right.
So,
What if I was to tell you? Now hold on to your seat, man.
All right.
This is gonna rock your world. Okay.
rock my moon.
So, the sun and the moon are the same exact size.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the sun and the moon, same size. And they're the same distance away from the Earth, obviously, because they're the same size.
Oh yeah.
3,000 miles.
It is a coincidence though. The distance the Earth is from the sun
Mm-hmm.
and the size of the moon and its distance from us
During an eclipse.
is exactly perfect.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's cool.
It's because
I don't
everything was
think it's
engineered.
flat. Yeah.
Everything was engineered.
Because you, I think it was the Mars rover.
Yeah.
It got its moon, that one little moon that goes
Mhm.
around Mars. I forget the name's not coming to me right now, but it showed the eclipse,
Right.
but you could still see the sun behind
Like
it.
all
So,
around it.
yeah, it's
Right.
really cool how our moon and sun line up. I think
Right.
that's awesome.
Do you like the moon landing, too?
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool, huh?
yeah.
Never happened.
Ah,
Obviously. The stars, the moon, all the planets, all the galaxies, nebulas, everything. Anything that's beyond, I believe, I want to say like 73,000 feet up in the air is fake. Yeah. So, a lot.
4K.
Yeah, big old 4K monitor. What a lot of them think is that there's a dome that is encompassing our entire flat Earth. Okay. They have this rocket ship, like homemade rocket ship that went all the way up, goes. And then at 73,000 feet, it appears to hit something. And it goes, and they make a sound like that, right? No joke. And they said, oh, this is when it hit the wall or hit the dome. But somehow, it doesn't like if you throw a Nerf dart at a wall and it bounces off and it falls back down, it just hit it
Yeah.
and it looked like it stuck.
Yep.
It was really weird. Obviously, it probably just ran out of air and was at the
The perfect
apex,
height.
at
Yeah.
that apex, and just stopped, and they're like, oh, okay, stop the video right there. So,
It could be like a bubble. Like
Maybe-
squishy.
what if they pop the bubble? What if the bubble's falling on
we
us?
could pop the bubble. So if there's a dome around a flat Earth, aren't we technically half a sphere?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't want to
would
pop
that,
their bubble.
would that be considered
Half flat Earth?
half flat Earth? I was going to say like a bowl.
Yeah.
The bowl Earth
Bowl
theory.
Earth theory.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got? Moon landing, not real. Just space isn't real. Everything that NASA ever has put out is fake. Completely fake. Oh my god, I can't believe these people believe this. Let's see, some other theories that these people believe. And I've got these all written down because I love this. This is hilarious. Moon and the sun are holograms. Okay. Apparently this dome is very Truman. What is that movie? Remember that movie with Jim Carrey?
Truman Show?
The Truman Show, yeah. Apparently our life is very much so like the Truman Show. There might be something looking at us. Who knows? Who knows? But what they're saying is there's the dome right there.
Yep.
So we're looking at the dome right now. Their theory is, their theory is on this, is okay, so you put a mouse in a cage, right? A little glass cage.
Okay.
The first thing it does is it goes around and looks at all
The perimeter.
the perimeters. It's looking for a way out. It's looking
Yep.
for what it's in. It's looking at its new environment. Then you move it up. Okay, I'm sorry. And then the mouse, gets complacent and it goes, okay, I am here and I'm just going to lay down and this is my home.
Yep.
I have nowhere to go. Then if you go bigger and you go into like a wildlife refuge, right?
Okay.
There are invisible borders that these animals are not allowed to go through. They don't know that there's a fence because they've got hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Mm-hmm.
So they're never going to see, most likely, the end of their wildlife refuge. These
Fair
animals, right?
Yep.
Their theory is we are very much so like, just say the buffalo, where they have these big wildlife refuges that are, thousands of miles large. We get this planet, and we'll never see the edge. Because the edge, apparently, is a gigantic ice wall holding in our oceans.
What?
Yeah.
Big old wall?
Big old wall.
Like
So
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. The knights are on top.
Yep.
Is that the Night Watch?
It's the crows, which are the Night Watch? Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, the Night Watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're really big nerds, but
Yeah.
apparently we don't know that. So this ice wall that encompasses the entire, I don't know if I should call it a planet, a plate, I don't know. This gigantic ice wall is supposed to be Antarctica.
Okay.
So we're not allowed to go to Antarctica, apparently. They say anytime that anybody that's independent wants to go and research Antarctica, they're like, no, you're not allowed to go here. If somebody tries going there without permission, they're going to get stopped by the military and say, no, hey, you're not allowed to go here. And the reason is because no one's allowed to colonize on Antarctica at all.
What about March of the Penguins movie?
That was not colonization.
Well,
That was scientists.
the penguins are taking over.
Like that Futurama episode where they
Uh-huh.
just keep on breeding. So this gigantic ice wall
Okay.
holds in everything, the oceans and our planet. Oh, it blows my mind that these people believe this stuff.
One thing that kind of blew my mind when I was looking at this,
Uh-huh.
and I never thought of it before.
Right.
So I'm thinking back when I'm looking at like Cold War stuff
Mm-hmm.
or like Russian things, like us versus Russia. I'm always thinking, okay, our bombers are going up in the air, flying west, going over the
Right.
Pacific Ocean, going to bomb some Russia.
Yeah.
But if you look at Earth, we could just fly over the North Pole
Mm-hmm.
and bomb them. You never hear of like planes flying over the North Pole.
Right.
But I guess it was just released that planes can now start flying over there for certain, like a very select few flights.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if you look at a picture of the globe on the top,
Right.
we're not that far from Russia if you go
Yeah,
over
go
the top.
completely north. Go through
You
Canada.
loop around, go up through
Right.
Canada, and then come back down.
Or you can just go to Sarah Palin's house.
Yeah,
She can see Russia from her backyard.
yeah. See,
Ooh,
So
that would
I
be a
ne-
flat Earth thing.
yeah.
'Cause
I
they can
never,
see-
yeah, I never realized how close we were to Russia that way. Because to me, I'm like, okay, that's the other side of the world, you
Right.
know? Like dig a hole, you go to China, sort of deal.
Right,
But,
right.
I don't know. It just kind of struck me weird. I never thought of that before. That
Right.
you can travel like over instead of just going like around the Earth.
Right.
So-
Well, because that's all you think about. Whenever
Yeah.
you take a flight, you're going
Yep.
around.
And they're trying to get in our heads, make us believe the Earth is not flat.
That's what it is, man.
Oh, look at this. The UN symbol.
Oh, yeah, the
is
UN
a
symbol.
Flat Earth.
And if you count it, it's actually 33 different parts of that. And you know what that stands for?
I don't.
The Masons. Because the 33rd degree Masons
Well, look
are
at
the
that.
ones who are keeping this a secret. I'm not lying about that.
Yeah, okay.
Those are the people that rule the world. Because apparently, if you hold your hands, like, hey, look at me. Okay, so I'm resting my hand
Okay.
normally. Okay, so you see this?
Yeah.
The only thing that they would see if I was a famous person is that my pinky and my index finger are slightly going past my middle and my ring finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Masonic sign, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah. It
Are you in the
immediately.
club?
No. Silly.
Yeah.
Nah. Okay. Another theory. Aliens are the ones that are controlling all this.
Okay.
So aliens have an agenda to keep us down by letting us grow into a big society under a dome, under our false pretenses,
Mm-hmm.
and going to use this for something that no one knows about yet because it's very nefarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the government knows all about it.
Oh, yeah.
And they have engineered everything. So volcanoes, okay, that is overflow from pipes that are more than 8 miles underground. And the reason why I say it's more than 8 miles is because anybody that's drilled down into the Earth, we don't apparently have the technology to drill past 8 miles down into the Earth's core. Because it gets just too hot, I guess. They're saying that this heat and this radiation is a way of that it's engineered so we don't go past 8 miles and find out these secrets.
Are there
Right?
lava rockmen down there?
Probably. That's the reason why the oceans are salty. Because if you can go through the oceans and drink the water that you're sailing on, how far could you sail? A very far distance.
To the ice walls.
Yeah, duh. In one trip.
But the ice walls
That's the reason why it
can't
gets
be
colder too.
saline.
Because they say it gets colder as you move away to keep you away. This is their logic here. So oceans are salty. It gets colder, and it's just hard, and there's less oxygen. So if you go straight up, less and less oxygen as you go up into the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or up into the atmosphere. And the closer you get to the wall, it's going to get colder, and it's going to be less air because they don't want you to find out that there's a dome.
Hmm.
So it's all massively engineered to make sure that you do not find out these secrets.
So, if you honestly, truly believe this, and you're like, okay, the Earth is flat. This is all a lie. None of this is true. Why don't you just? You could save up amount of money to go on a around the world flight, hop on an airplane, and be like, okay,
I have
flew
an
in a
answer for
straight
that,
line the
too.
entire way, and I'm right back where I started.
I have an answer for that too. They will say it is impossible to make a one-way flight. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, a one continuous flight.
Okay,
They'll
military
say,
does it.
well, they're not going to be able to get on the military because they're the ones that are covering it up, dude.
Okay, my bad.
So, you get on a plane from New York and you're going to travel all the way around the world to New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say it's the government covering it up. It's a very elaborate hoax. by saying you have to stop here, 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 and here before you get here to throw you off your game if you're trying to figure it out.
Makes
So,
complete sense.
you know, what they've said in the past is, and when I say they, I actually mean like people that are,
Flat people?
no, rounders.
Okay.
If you were to take one spot, travel at an angle for 10,000 miles,
Okay.
make a left-hand turn for 10,000 miles, make another left-hand angle back to your starting point, so you made a triangle, right? Then that would be the rounder's way of doing things, because you're going to be going right back to your center point.
Ah.
That's how they could prove it if they wanted to. Obviously, they're not going to do it because then it's going to be fake. All pictures of the Earth. I want to kind of go over this.
Okay.
Anything where you see kind of a substantial amount of the planet is done through a fisheye lens to make it look curved. Anything from NASA is CGI. Yeah. So there's somebody in NASA who simply makes really cool art.
Star Wars, dude.
Dude, it's pretty sweet. I want to apply for that job.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's strange. I don't understand this. Like, where do you go? How do you get involved saying, I have lived on this earth for however many years, and you start saying to yourself, you know what, the earth is flat. Like, these people have convinced me that the earth is flat. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how...
Probably the same people that are going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, those people. It's just crazy. It's just like, you know, the Earth is a globe. Like, no, they're not going to put billions and billions and billions of dollars into a space program and spend this much money for a ruse.
Yep.
Like, they would have made it so everything failed. Like,
Yep.
oh, look it, we're on the moon. Oh no, they're all dead. Or like, oh, they're on the moon. Oh, they just died as soon as they got this far out. Like, why? Like, they say Stanley Kubrick is the one who created the moon landing.
Really?
Yeah, they're the one, yeah. Apparently, he knew about it.
So Mars, all of our rovers, all the... Here's what I don't get.
Yeah,
There's so many... Do you think China would mess around with this? I mean, the Chinese have orbiters and things in space.
right.
Is there... How would this society keep all these countries from talking? That, and have you seen those YouTube videos where they shoot a GoPro, like,
Well, the
30,000
GoPro has
feet in
the
the air?
GoPro has apparently. Don't quote me on this. A fisheye lens. Boom. What?
Yeah, okay.
No, dude. It's
All right.
freaking my
All right.
man. I'm starting to really kind of believe in this.
Oh, God.
Starting to really kind of get into this. That you want me to get really deep into the conspiracy, into the rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
this rabbit hole. It's the Illuminati. The Illuminati owns everything. Okay,
Okay.
they control everything. So
Makes sense.
it does because it's so broad.
I saw your hand signal, too.
It's crazy because it's like, here's the Illuminati. They know everything. They have all the power in the world. They've got everything. They control everything. It doesn't matter about your little tiny governments trying to do stuff. They're going to make sure that it fails if it goes against what they want.
Okay.
So that's deep down into the conspiracy like rabbit hole. That is Dimensional Soup. On that note, good night, everybody. Check us out at dimensionalsoup.com. Check us out on Twitter at Dimensional Soup, and and look at our YouTube channel, which is Dimensional Soup. We post everything on there a couple nights or the night of our recording, and we'll talk to you later. And hopefully, we'll hear from you. Leave comments, tweet us, do whatever you want. Get in touch with us.